Good morning, everyone. So, today is the 27th. Let's go. 27th is today. Let me get my other phone. Yes, you guys, I have two phones. Because I got one for the personal and one for the low. I'm just kidding. So, anyways, let's do something today. So, yesterday we did Taurus. Taurus, did you change your passwords? Okay, did you change your password? And if you are a Taurus or a cross watcher for someone else that is a Taurus, you should probably let them know. Change the passwords. Check the friendship circles, because somebody in your midst is not trying to be the best person around you, okay? But anyways, let's see what's going on. I know there's some type of like moon activity or something going on today spiritually. Moon activity today. It's a waxing gibbous. Okay, 5 days left to the next phase, full moon. You guys get ready. Get ready. I cannot wait to do a reading on the full moon. Okay. 5 days, so that would be, who would we be? Gemini, then there's Cancer, okay? There is Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. Scorpio's gonna have the full moon. Okay. If my calculations are right, tune in 5 days, you guys, for that Scorpio reading, because I know that's gonna be epic. Anyways, let's get into this reading. So we're doing a reading today for Gemini. Whoa, hello. They were just all in there still. You guys, I'm getting my nails done tomorrow. I'm so happy. Like, you guys do not understand. I will post a picture of my nails. So I was thinking, because, you know, the channel is called Golden Moonchild, some type of gold, some type of ethereal kind of look. And I know the girl who's perfect for it here at where I work. Oh my gosh, Ten of Swords already came out. Are you guys doom scrolling again? Okay, what was this one? Doom scroll. Oh my gosh. What is going on? Gemini, we got some chaotic energy today. Okay, so the what is this? The Chariot reverse. Chaotic energy, but like movement in a crazy way. Are you road raging? Are you driving like a menace to society? Okay, cards. Let's act right, okay? Y'all was doing way too. Gemini. Let's just take a deep breath. Collective for the Gemini. I think you guys are a little scatterbrained right now. You guys got cards popping out before I could even completely shuffle them. It's a hot mess. Maybe this, okay, we're going to come back to this deck. You are on a timeout for right now. I love you, but you're on a timeout, okay? Here, let's just tuck you away right now, because you are just, maybe I didn't introduce it. If you don't know, this is the deck. Excuse my oil on the box. I hydrated my hand because nobody likes ashy hands in tarot. So anyways, this is the Modern Witch Tarot deck, okay? Maybe I didn't introduce her because she has so much of an attitude today. Anyways, we'll come back to her. We're gonna do my tried and true. I should probably clean this box, but you guys know this one, the Rider Right deck. It is the OG. All right, we're gonna take a deep breath. Can you do it with me? Deep breath. And we're gonna release. I don't know why, Gemini. I just felt like I need to do that. There is a lot of mental stimulation going on. Energetically, I feel very energized, like chatty, talking. There's all these things happening, and I think there's something telling you in your energy right now that you need to kind of calm down and slow down, because that's how I felt straight off the bat. That was a lot of energy that I just walked into. Okay, let's see. Gemini, what is going on? Now, we're doing a theme right now. We're going through each zodiac sign. and then we'll go back to the collective. But right now I'm doing the Geminis, and how we've been doing it for Aries and Taurus was on this side was you or your person, no contact, what's going on there. And then on this side, it was talking about outside external things outside of you that is creating the blockage, or maybe like your mental state that could be preventing you from obtaining your goals and things like that. So this is like more kind of like you and your partner, love on this side, and then this was kind of like more business, more like networking, connections to the world, or elevation, all that stuff. Like what could be blocking it, what is getting in the way of that. But yeah, I apologize if you guys can hear my heater, because I need to start taking some iron. Your girl be freezing all the time. Oh my gosh, today is not the day. I'm so discombobulated today. What is going on? I'm like in shambles. What is... I'm fighting my cards today. Act right, please. Get it together. Lord, I'm telling you, this is crazy. I never had my cards be so like... So, look at all this. That is a lot. Okay, we're just gonna look, okay? We got not moving away because you feel stuck. You're emotionally imbalanced because of this argument that happened. That's not allowing you to make a decision, and it's causing you to not feel like you sitting on the throne. You may act out, you may do things that are addictions. These are the the things that you distract yourself with because of this relationship's not working. I'm sorry, that just kind of was going through it. But Gemini, y'all a hot mess, man. What is going on for Gemini? I can't even get through the reading. Like, shit is going everywhere. Oh, yeah. Okay. Why is this person not contacting you, or you not contacting them? Based off of this, we have a knight going into a wand, and then there's like a stagnant energy, or usually, actually, this would be stagnant, like not doing anything, letting it rest. So I think you guys kind of come in and out of each other's life pretty quickly. What is going on between Gemini and their person? It's very flighty, hot and cold kind of energy. Maybe there's no real commitment going on. It's just kind of like somebody who comes in hot. Okay, we got that one. Can you even see this on the phone? Let me scoot it over a little bit, actually. Yeah. Right here. All right, 2 more cards. Come on, we can make it through. We can make it through. We can make it through. 2 more cards. Okay, 2 more cards. Yes, okay. All these cards came out again, or these are different ones? Why do they come out in such chunkiness? Okay, we got the Chariot. I did say something about not moving. Either way, for this card in particular, anytime I see it, I always think of like, you're still guarded. This is giving guarded energy. You have the Devil upright, so there's some type of bondage happening, a willingness to be in a place, not willing to move on or move forward, because maybe you're trying to protect this bond, but you know it's not good for you. I would say with this one, we have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords talks about like clarity. So again, things being brought to you, very mental, very mind, very airy. There's a bit of a flow there. I do feel like in this aspect, I don't know. There's truths that maybe you don't know about. Things are being concealed. We have a quick argument happening because of manipulation, and there feels like a level of like things are not fair. Gemini. Okay, there was that. So we're just gonna you can kind of look at it for a little bit more. You guys want to break that down? What I just said. I already said it pretty clearly. You guys got that. So there's all that, right? I'm putting it back because that was a lot and I just wanted one more. Okay, we got our one more. Yay, there it is, the Ace of Swords. Yeah, somebody's trying to manipulate the situation. They're not being honest. Okay, we've arrived. We got our 6 cards finally. Oh, we're here. 10 minutes in. Okay. Anyways, 10 of Wands. Like I said, this energy gives me like passionate, yes, but like almost in a possessive, nothing that really wants to build roots with you, nothing that wants to establish anything. And this could be you and them. We do have 2 people here, so you and your person. I would say this is what's going on between you guys, and in between you guys you have the 4 of Swords in reverse. So usually when I see the 4 of Swords upright, it talks about taking a break, and this could mean that or like having a moment of relaxing. So this relationship may be fun. This relationship might be entertaining. There might be an aspect of like adventure, you know, with the passion and the wands. There's fire, you know. But at the same time, there's something about this that maybe you know that you should leave, especially how we saw all that stuff here. There was a lot of like manipulation. There was a lot of like energy of just kind of control, but in a way where that person sees it, but they allow it. So I think here with the 8 of Cups in reverse, it's like you may know that it's time to leave, or you feel like there's something that like you still aren't achieving being here, but you're comfortable being here. We saw that here in this spread part, that it was talking about like wanting to stay shackled, wanting to be in that environment, and almost in a sense of like I want to protect that. So I do see this, like there's no leaving this. So I don't think in a sense that you are having too much issues. I think it's just a lot of scattered energy. Maybe right now you have a lot of things that you want to do. I think we did see like all those cups with the 7 of Cups. There's a lot of things that you're interested in, but at the same time, I do feel like there's something here for you guys. There is something here for the long haul. We have the 4 of Wands. There is some sense of stability here. I do like how I see the 4 of Swords here, and then the 4 of Wands here. So we have 2 4s in the reading, and I like that because 4 is a number of kind of like home stability. Obviously with this card it ties into like marriage and, you know, long-term goals with somebody. So I do feel like this person in a sense kind of matches your energy, but you guys are not really in the place to really commit, but you guys are there for each other. Ace of Swords. Be mindful though of, I want to say, disagreements that can because you guys both embody the fire aspect. Now we're talking about Gemini, right? But there's a level of like you guys are so passionate for each other. This is the energy between you guys. Definitely one person is younger and another person could be older. Like maybe like 5 years apart or so, somewhere like 5 or 6, 7. I'm just kidding. 6 or 7 years apart. I think that would be kind of the age range that this dynamic is talking about. Anyways, let's get some more cards in this Gemini reading. So even though this says no contact, it seems as though you guys are in contact with your person. I don't see a person showing up like no contact. If there were, it'd be kind of like this energy, but it's kind of conflicting. Like if it were to say something about contact. Okay, Let's just say if it was saying no contact. With this part here, if this sword is communications, sword is intellect, and it is in reverse. So we also have this cup, this 8 of cups. The person could be moving away emotionally, and this relationship could just be kind of like intimate. I can also see that, although you guys want stability, or maybe there's something like comfort here. But I need more cards, because I'm getting like there's passion. I'm getting energies of like wanting to move away, but like seeing this as like something I want. It kind of goes back to the whole beginning of like all the cards going everywhere, just straight confusion. And that's how I feel. I felt like super anxiety when you first meet somebody, and then you just start talking and talking and talking and talking. But like you're not really talking because you are having a conversation. You're kind of talking to just fill the air. That was the energy I started off with in this reading, and it felt like that. And I said, I need to ground myself, because Gemini, I don't know what you guys are going through, but my readings are not usually like that. So that was a lot of energy in the beginning. Okay. We're going to take her out of timeout, and we're going to get some more clarity as to what could possibly be going on here. Let's see. Ooh. Let's go this way. Yeah, see, she calmed down now. She calmed down. Much better, much better. We just needed to like chill out. Maybe that's what's going on here. It's like a break, but not really like a full-on break. Okay. Let me get one more, because I think that's 2. All right. Hold on, you guys. This was the cups. Okay, so this would have been first. We have this. Let's move them open. Then it was this one. Then it was this one. And then this one fell. Okay. So there we go. Boop, 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 boop. Right there. Okay. So we have the High Priestess up front. We have the Chariot in reverse again. We have the Knight of Swords. I don't really remember if that came out prior to, but we have the 6 of Cups. So let me absorb right now. There's a lot of energy on this table. High Priestess just know. I think there's an aspect of knowing. I don't know, I just get like you guys don't want to separate. I keep getting that. Like there's not a level of like really wanting to leave. I honestly don't think Gemini right now, like of course there's a Gemini out there, but this reading in particular is for a Gemini. Even though this is a no contact reading, I feel like this reading in particular is talking about a Gemini who is with somebody who is very fiery. Maybe you have a lot of fire placements in your chart as well, that you know internally that this is your person and you're willing to put in the effort. You can be very passionate about it. I do see that there's a level of nurturing. But it just feels like, I don't know, just kind of based off what we saw before. There's an attachment that is not always good, but it's like you want this person. Yeah, this talks about like in the upright sense of these 2 cards, it would like tell me leaving, but this tells me maybe wanting to leave but not ready to leave. and you're willing to put in the effort to fight for this because you, at the end of the day, want this. You want to nurture this. But we have this in reverse, and we have that in reverse, which is kind of derailing me a little bit. Only because when I see that Ace of Swords, it's like reaching out. Somebody wants to reach out to you, or maybe when you guys communicate, you guys kind of can embody this kind of energy, and that's where that whole hot temper fire placements kind of come in. But you guys make it work. You guys don't want to leave. That devil card that we had here earlier, it's like you guys are invested in each other. Okay, that's what I'm picking up. I'm not seeing anything else. All right, so let's change this up a bit. Let's do this. I'm gonna do these cards. Give me an oracle card that can explain the situation. Even though we're talking about no contact, it seems as though, from what I'm intuitively picking up, is that this person is in contact with their person. What are the messages they need to know about this relationship? Let's go with that question. What are some of the questions that they need answering to? Or like, I guess, what questions do they have about this relationship? What is the best thing that they need to hear right now? Okay, we're gonna split it on this one. So when I split, I'm like looking up right now, and I don't even see it until I look. Yeah, so it says pay attention. This is the first time I've ever seen this card. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautious. The signs are caution. I can't say the word. Cautiousing. Sorry, sometimes I like the word specific. I can't say. Cautioning. Pretty much, bitch, beware. You in danger, girl. I'm just kidding. If you guys have seen the movie Ghost. And it's funny because there is a ghost right there. Just being funny. But anyways, yeah, I'm telling you, there's that, like, we saw that here when it showed right here, the manipulation, High Priestess. I'm telling you, when I see the High Priestess in this particular deck with the laptop, I feel like somebody who's on the computer doing stuff. Now, whether that's good or bad, we'll tell you based on the cards around you. You know what? I'm going to pull and say, like, what are the red flags? Let's do that. Okay, so we're going back because I don't really have... Actually, no, let's do this one. I have this deck. All right, so what are the red flags in this relationship? What are the red flags going on that they are talking about in this reading? Temperance. Things not being balanced. Things not being fair. So in this card in particular, we have the sun coming up. We have that angel again. And in this cup, while the water is being poured back into the ocean or into this lake, you have a bird that's being released into the air. And what that tells me is we have an element of water, we have an element of air going on, which are, in a sense, kind of opposite, but they somehow coexist together, you know. I think this person, if anything, we said what would be their red flags. I don't know, something about him just kind of like dropping the water back in to allow the bird to go. It's almost kind of like this person doesn't, I'm gonna say it, this person does not value emotional balance. Or this person can be overly emotional. And when that happens, they tend to have an avoidant attachment style. And I think that's why here you guys are not, like I said, you guys want something, but I think you guys are in the energy where it's just kind of like passion. It's not necessarily something that is moved into this energy because of what was going on. I'm gonna put this here. And then I can go there. Yeah, I don't know, Gemini. I feel like there's, although yes, this relationship could be mentally stimulating for you, I think that's kind of like really what it is about. It shows you, yeah, giving to this person, but I don't feel as though like you have enough here to then cement this. It's there, but there's things you guys need to work on in order to get there. You know, I do feel like this person, maybe you or the party that you're talking to, could exhibit like they don't know how to emotionally regulate themselves, or they could have how do you say, avoiding attachment styles to where when things get too over emotional or things get kind of like emotionally over the top for them or for you, somebody tends to choose flight instead of fight. You know, that could be here. While this person is, one person is choosing to fight for the situation, that could be the person who had themselves in the Nine of Wands, or was it the Eight of Wands card? And the other person chooses to leave. Is the older person in this relationship, Gemini, kind of more of the detached one, while the younger one is chasing? That could be a possibility. And then I would say, if there is in this dynamic a younger Gemini, or the other person is a Gemini, let's say you are the Gemini, right? And this is you are the younger person. I would say invest back into yourself. I like this energy, but I feel as though if you were to transmute it to being this way, you know, now we have this energy of like more action. We have a sense of like travel. We have a sense of exploration. And I feel like this would have to be kind of like moving away from the city to kind of figure out who you are. It's that concept of like, this is home. I'm going to adventure off. I want to learn who I am. And I think this person will allow you the space to do it because they are mature. It seems as though they do have other things that they have to prioritize. And it's not that they don't care about you, but I think both of you guys care about each other. You're just in a place to where like this is on your mind, but it's like at the back of your mind, or at least this person. That's what I'm picking up on. Be careful with this temperance energy. This red flag that they have could be, like I said, if things get overly emotional for them, I do feel as though that this person, and I feel like it's the older individual in this dynamic, will choose to fly off. Because they see it as like, I got too much stuff to worry about, I got too much stuff to do, and you know, this person is trying to beast their way. Now let's say the Gemini is this person, the older person in the situation. With that person being older, I would think when I see older Geminis, I tend to see them as people who don't like their peace to be disrupted. They tend to get a little bit more serious too as they get older. I noticed that. They go through this whole like fun thing, and maybe that's like the energy that happened too. It was fun, and now this person has to focus on the responsibilities, and that could cause this dynamic. But I feel like as a Gemini gets older, they tend to get a little bit more serious. I've noticed that. They're still funny and they can still crack jokes, but then I think they go through a lot of life lessons that matures them, and where they learn how to handle that. Kind of like in the beginning of this reading when I was just like all over the place. And now towards kind of maturing into this reading, I do feel a lot more sense of calm. I do feel a lot more sense of like steady information flowing. It just felt like super fast everything was coming out, and then now we kind of like went into smooth territory. Okay, so I think this person who's older, basically I would say they are focused on some goals right now. They do care about you, but I feel as though if you ever show them that things can get a little too they're not looking for an emotional connection, although they do want passion, they do want connection. I don't think like a long term, I want to set roots with you, I want to merge with you. I don't see that here. It seems very lighthearted, and it feels like one person is more interested than the other. And I will say it's the younger person who's more interested than the older person is. Although the old person doesn't mind having you around, I do think they enjoy your company, or vice versa. If it's the other way around, the older person enjoys the younger person's company, but they're there to accomplish things, and if it gets in the way, they will choose to fly, because that will be the red flag, something that they ultimately resort to as a way to solve the problem, because that's kind of like what red flags are. Anytime a red flag happens, it's kind of, especially if it's already been brought to the person's attention and they continue to do that, that is like either a coping mechanism or just like a cemented way of character. And you have to at that moment figure out if this is something that's worth it for you, and then if not, walk away or choose not to walk away. Walk away and move it to somebody else who can give you that, or try to figure out a way to get there without being manipulated. Okay, so we're gonna put this in here. How are we doing on time? We're doing pretty good. I have to go to the Apple store today, you guys, because my freaking Beats Pros, I don't know why they do that. The left one does not play anything. I can definitely see that it charges, but I can't hear nothing. And so when I go to the gym, I gotta play music on one side, and who wants to do that? So anyways, this is Work Your Light Oracle card deck by Rebecca Campbell. I feel like I have to go like this. Hold on. So we're gonna pull an oracle. Oof, these are firm. These babies are stiff. Okay, let's do this. Okay, that's enough. These cards are hard. They are so hard. Okay, after this one, if it doesn't shuffle and nothing comes out, I'm splitting the deck. Right there. So we got Unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Okay, you guys. And we're gonna pull from the other deck. Okay, so we got Unbound Yourself. I'm trying to find anything that looks familiar. Huh. It's funny. Doesn't the stained glass window kind of look like that? I just noticed that. I'm gonna look more into that. I'm not too sure what that means. I just noticed that. So when I read tarot, I like to look at the images. Of course, I factor in what the original meaning of the card is, but what I also do is kind of focus on what stands out to me in that moment. If there's something that I never noticed before, things that just kind of stand out. Okay, we have one that's like this way. You're not alone. Isolation, physical connection, and community. All right, so what that's telling me is this: release soul patterns, contract, and past lives. So there's something that it's requiring you to elevate. So where in this can you elevate yourself in this reading? Oops, I'm knocking over the phone. And the reason why you need to release this soul pattern is because isolation is important. It's not necessarily a punishment. It is a moment of recalibrating yourself. It's hermit energy, where you go off and you shine the light on the parts of you that are darker, like your shadow side. You would shine light on the shadow, who is the side that you don't necessarily get to meet all the time, the side that we tend to, as humans, put away, because ideally it's not good to have a shadow side, but it is the other half of us. And there's that duality right here with these two cards of being a balance of good and bad, or not necessarily like good or bad. It's just like the both sides of you, which is kind of like a Gemini in this sense. We have here, you're not alone, physical connection, and community. I like this because what it's doing, I feel like this is giving like the as above, so below kind of energy, where although yes, you are trying to operate from a place of maybe functioning from one place, there's that balance of allowing your other twin to kind of show up sometimes. And maybe that will create that balance here. Like one side of you always wants to maybe be around this person. One side of you always wants to interact with this person. But then the other side is trying to like have these moments of like freedom, breaking free, enjoying who you are. And I think that's what it's trying to say. It's like release those old patterns of just like operating from past ways, because they are not serving you anymore. And it's okay to go out into the world and connect and be around community. Gemini loves community. Gemini, number one, likes to talk to people. Number two, they like helping people, because a lot of Geminis I know, they have a Venus Cancer placement, so I feel like that just goes hand in hand there, and they tend to be really good at interacting with other people. So if there's something that you have like you're passionate about, I think right now is a good time to start it, so then that way you're not losing yourself, because then that's how it would lead to a no contact. That's what it is. You're in a place right now where you want to work on these things, but if you don't work on these things, it's going to lead to a no contact. And that's where the no contact, I feel, is coming from in all of this. Okay. Whew. I don't know why today I'm really in Gemini energy. I feel like I am talking so much. I feel it. Like, obviously I did a reading yesterday that was like an hour long, but I didn't feel like I was talking a lot that day. Today I feel like I'm talking a lot. Actually, I'll do this for you guys. We still have to do, where's Unbound? It doesn't even tell you what card. I wish, maybe we can do that, because now I gotta look. Let's go to the index, because books have index, Monique. Okay, 108. I wish you would have just put numbers on the cards. That would have been so easier. Okay. It's time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They are coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It's time to unwind from them. This is the life in which you free yourself from trauma of lives past. Ooh, that's deep. It's almost as if though you're getting like a fresh start. But I don't mean in the sense of like you've been here before. It's as if though you are completely like a new soul. Or it's the shedding of who you used to be, or not carrying over these past lives, that in that sense you get to be a new soul and almost experience it like a child. I'm picking up this energy right now. Like this is being offered to you. But in a sense of kind of like, in the sense of you're experiencing it for the first time. Like, let's say in life you fell in love with someone, right? But then now you fall in love with someone new, and it's like it doesn't even matter the first time you fell in love, because this feels like the first time. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, if that makes any sense. What old ways of being have an expiring date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it is also important to acknowledge how they have served you up until now. For example, soul patterns of playing small caused by a soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice, which is interesting because Geminis like to talk. So, you guys should do some like throat chakra healing. Go look into like meditating on your throat chakra as a Gemini. If you have felt like in the past being blocked, I definitely will say look into doing some throat chakra healing. I think that would be really good for you guys. Kind of like finding your voice right now, finding your community, finding your purpose. I feel like that's the main thing. Like this relationship is great, but like aside from the relationship, I think right now you have some things that you need to focus on yourself, Gemini. You can still have it, but just take this time, like I keep saying, to focus on yourself, because then this over feeling, or this feeling of it's mine's, kind of like how it was saying the contract, you're gonna make this kind of go away. And if anything, we can just say that that is the roadblock, or the thing that's blocking your abundance. It's that feeling of like, this is how I always did it, so therefore that's all I know. I think it's time to really, like, of course, like I said, heal your throat chakra, really look into like meditation guides, or maybe even having like blue crystals. I think it's a lapis. A lapis is really good. An agate is really good. What else blue ones do they have? Aquamarine, there's that one. Just look into like blue crystals. Maybe you should just kind of wear like some type of blue turquoise necklace or something of blue. I think if you start embodying more blue, I think that would help you. Okay, so in order to grow, you need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It's time to unbind from the old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. Okay, so there's that one. That was kind of nice. And we're going to do this one. Okay. I'm going to do this book. This one was, what was it? You're Not Alone. That's what we did. Okay, so this one says You're Not Alone, which was 130. One page. All right. So it says you are not alone, isolation, physical connection, and community. The soul, the older the soul, the deeper the cave. Many starseeds and old souls enjoy their own company. Spending time alone can be comforting and necessary. So why that ties into the first one, that's the pattern that you're used to. So I think with this one, that's where it's saying it's time to break free from that. They tie hand in hand. Spending time alone can be comforting and necessary for your vitality, as it allows them to commune with their soul and fill up their energetic resources, especially if they have an underactive or open root chakra. I said I said chakras. I talked about that. Or find it hard being a human. Many star seeds find it more nourishing to repeat than to spend their time in meaningless conversations and relationships. I don't know. Gemini, I think you're holding on for once. And usually Gemini doesn't show that type of energy. Or somebody's attached to you, which I do feel like Geminis invite that type of energy. One person is pulling and the other one is trying to chase. However, we must remember that we are not here to go about this life alone. Humans are pack animals and we all need love, company, and support of others, both emotionally and physically. In our increasingly online world, we can be connected to more people and yet feel more alone and isolated than ever. There's still so much we don't know about the energetic side effects of things like social media. With so many people knowing our news, what is it doing to our auric field? That's a good thing. That's giving, like, it's going back to this whole energy of like, this is the city, this is like the noise, and I do feel like you do need to kind of get away from it for a while and just kind of like focus on yourself. And maybe that's where it was saying the red flags. The red flags are the patterns that maybe you keep repeating. It's literally like, this is a girl and that's her ghost. They look identical. The ghost is the bad habits, the things that kind of go in cycles. If you ever see like ghost stories, how they show the ghost is like repeating the same habits, anything, they call them like, I think, residual hauntings, where it just kind of happens over and over. I think if anything, now reading that, like, are you the ghost in your own life that's preventing you? You're haunting yourself by not choosing to let go and move into an energy where these new things that you can experience, it's scary for you or the other person. It's scary for somebody in this reading that they don't feel like they have the capacity to move forward, so they stay with what's comfortable with them. But then where do you really grow in that? And that's why it feels like there's like no movement. I did say that, like, nobody's ready to make a move. We had the devil card where there was a chain. I'm choosing to stay here, but like, at what cost? Gemini, I feel like you're at a place where you're realizing that you do, like I said in the beginning, we have a full moon in 5 days. Full moon is kind of like peak energy, and you can take, I need to move my hands because I know I need to move my hands because I know this kind of does that. Anyways, Gemini, we're about to hit the full moon, and one thing about the full moon is that's like the heightened fullest capacity of that energy of the moon, and whatever placement it's in, whatever planet it's in, whatever zodiac sign it's in, like, channel that. And I do feel like by the time we do Scorpio's reading, it should be the full moon. And I'm not saying that I have anything to do with that, but use the energy of, I need to look and see. I'll put it in the community post as far as like what moon we're dealing with coming up right now and like what to do with that. I'll do something like that and go from there. But pretty soon I gotta get going, you guys. This reading was nice. I was trying to rush and kind of combine it. I feel like we've been on it for some time. Yeah, it's been like 50 minutes, so you guys pretty much got like the full time. I think that's pretty much it. It seems as though the blockage this time in this reading is kind of you guys, because you guys are repeating the same mistakes, or somebody's repeating the same mistakes. As long, like, I don't see no shady stuff. Like the Taurus, they was going through it yesterday. I was like, yo, red alert, somebody needs to change their passwords. But it seems as though it's more so you this time, Gemini, or your partner. I think that person does care about you. but I don't see it like overly like I'm in love, I want to merge. I think the person's also on a pathway of trying to learn who they are, and I think that's a good place for you both, because what I guess, like, I think those are the best relationships where you know that the person is there. There's a level of trust, there's a level of partnership, but at the same time, you're not consumed. Like, I hate to say this, Scorpio, but I never want to be consumed by a Scorpio ever again. It was like, oh, and I'm a Cancer. I felt like I couldn't be myself. I felt like, not to shade Scorpios, but it just felt so draining. Like, literally, they merge into you, but they absorb you, and I wish that people could understand that. We're gonna have to do a talk one day on that too, about the things that, like, the zodiac signs. I see people in the comments will say certain things like, oh, well, that's how Geminis, people hate Geminis, but it's like, well, if there's a collective, why the collective is saying this, then maybe we should look into that, and like, how can we better that so that the narrative changes. I want to do a reading on that as well. So thank you for taking the time to watch this reading for Gemini. I really appreciate it. If you guys can go ahead and give me a subscribe, give me a like, and if you could share this video to a Gemini that's in your family, in your friend circle, or your partner, or save it for yourself, I would really appreciate that. All the links are in the bio. I just downloaded, I think it's called, it's supposed to be replacing TikTok. Apparently, we're not supposed to have TikTok anymore because it was purchased. It sucks, I know. But I went ahead and subscribed and added this other platform. So it's in the link tree. I put it in there if you guys want to check it out. You guys can make your own accounts. It's a completely new app. It literally only has like 100,000 downloads of this app. And if you compare it to Facebook, and especially Facebook has like 10 billion, Instagram had 5. So you guys can be like one of the first people on there. It's completely free. It's not supposed to be censoring the information like how TikTok is going to be censored now. And I can also post a video of where I got that information from. It's from a YouTube video. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye. If you guys want to book a reading, reach out to me. Okay, love you guys. Bye.